AI video editing is one of those topics every creator keeps yelling about, but frankly, most of the tools you see on social media are just hype with a flashy interface. Some definitely help streamline the process, but honestly, we are still in that messy, experimental phase where things feel a bit rough around the edges. We are getting close to a turning point, and I truly believe that in about 6 months, we will start seeing tools that fundamentally change the way we approach video production. You have to embrace these growing pains and accept that using slightly flawed products is just part of the trial and error process right now. With how fast the tech is evolving, the clunky stuff is going to turn into genuinely powerful, useful tools much faster than you might think. I want to give you a straight-up honest rundown of the exact tools I am messing with every single day in my own workflow. I will be real with you. Some of these are absolute game changers, while others are still promising but just a little bit too clunky for serious work. Yes, I use Vizard almost daily because it saves me hours of manual labor, but I am going to walk you through the entire landscape so you know exactly what to expect. First up, let's talk about Photoshop's Generative Fill for video, which is essentially like having digital set dressing on steroids. This feature allows you to photorealistically alter your filming environment after you have already wrapped up the shoot. Whether you want to swap out a background or just remove an annoying light stand that slipped into the shot, it handles those tasks beautifully. It is honestly one of the most practical AI features for creatives right now because it solves real, annoying on-set headaches without requiring an expensive reshoot. The downside is that it is still very frame-by-frame heavy for longer clips, and the workflow can get painfully slow if you are tackling dozens of shots at once. Still, for those quick polish jobs, it is absolutely revolutionary and a massive time saver. Next on the list is Runway's Gen-3, which is honestly wild. It has the ability to create both photorealistic video and some really stylized motion graphics just from simple text prompts and reference images. The potential here is insane, though I will admit I have spent days just grinding away trying to get the prompting exactly right. Some prompts take serious iteration. I once had a simple plant growth animation that took me like 50 tries to get looking natural. Also, be warned that it is not exactly cheap if you are pushing the limits, as prompt refinement really eats through your generation credits. The comprehension of complex prompts can be hit or miss, but when it clicks, the results are legitimately mind-blowing. Think of it more as a creative engine for brainstorming ideas and quick drafts rather than a final, polished production tool for now. Now, let's have a real talk for all my fellow editors out there. Are you spending more time staring at your machine than actually living your life? I completely feel that, because editing can drain your energy, ruin your sleep schedule, and steal precious time away from your friends and family. One of the ways I survived growing my channel to hundreds of thousands of subscribers was to stop doing everything manually and start using systems that actually scale. That is exactly where a smart mix of quality templates and automated tools becomes a lifesaver. A solid library of professional templates can shave hours off a project, letting you focus on the story and performance instead of constant button clicking. But templates alone don't fix the biggest bottleneck in the industry: finding the best parts of your long videos and turning them into shareable clips. That is exactly where Vizard shines as a tool for creators. Vizard automatically detects viral moments from long-form content and converts them into ready-to-post, engaging short clips. You do not need to spend hours scrubbing through footage because the AI surfaces the highlights, trims them nicely, and makes them social-ready instantly. For creators pumping out long podcasts, live streams, or interviews, this specific feature is a massive growth hacker and time saver. CapCut is the mobile editing tool I actually use whenever I am away from my desk or on the go. Their AI features for transitions, roto effects, and handling high-resolution clips are surprisingly capable for a mobile app. If you are a TikTok-first creator, CapCut is often the fastest path from having an idea to getting it posted. The downside? Their warp stabilizer isn't nearly as good as desktop software, so I wouldn't rely on it for heavy stabilization work. Also, the mobile interface is super convenient, but it lacks the flexibility you need for fine-grained color or audio mastering. It is great for quick edits, but it is definitely not a replacement for a desktop NLE when you need that professional polish. FireCut is an Adobe Premiere extension that tries to do something many editors have dreamed about: automatically cutting out bad takes. There have been so many attempts at this, but most of them fell short until now. FireCut isn't perfect either. It sometimes deletes too much or misses the nuance of a performance where you actually want a slight pause for effect. Still, it is the closest thing I have seen that actually helps clean up your A-roll footage fast. It saves time by removing obvious flubs, but you still need to give it a final pass to manually adjust those critical spots. Keep an eye on the updates though. I really think it is headed in the right direction for the future of editing. Descript, specifically for captions, is next on my list of must-haves. Premiere has built-in captioning, but Descript's karaoke-style captions where each word highlights in sync with the audio is just incredibly slick. The export to green screen workflow is simple. Export captions from Descript with a green background. Overlay in Premiere, then key out the green. The final result is crisp, animated captions that look way more polished than standard subtitle tracks. For creators who want eye-catching captions without doing hours of manual animation, Descript is still a top-tier pick. So, where does Vizard fit into this whole mix? Vizard isn't trying to replace Photoshop's crazy visual fixes or Runway's generative artistry, and it isn't a replacement for CapCut's mobile convenience. Instead, Vizard focuses on the one thing most creators struggle with daily, turning long content into consistent, platform-ready clips without burning out. There are 3 specific features I use all the time. First, the auto-editing for viral clips, which finds the juicy moments, the jokes, reveals, or emotional beats, and optimizes them for social. Second, the auto-schedule feature lets you set how often you want to post, and the system handles the cadence across all platforms automatically. Third, the content calendar allows you to manage, tweak, and publish everything from one dashboard without hopping between 5 different apps. Contrast that with the other tools. Runway and Photoshop are fantastic for bells and whistles edits, but they don't solve the scale problem. None of them solve the "I have 3 hours of content and need 30 shorts by next week" problem like Vizard does. They are all parts of the stack. Vizard just glues the part that actually picks the content and schedules it for you. Also, be honest about the limitations. Vizard won't generate new visual effects like Runway, and it won't replace hand-tuned color grading. But if your goal is distribution and growth, getting more clips out there without losing your sanity, it is ridiculously effective. It is also much friendlier on the wallet for consistent creators than shelling out for unlimited generation plans everywhere else. Here is a real workflow I use. Shoot a long-form interview, import it into Premiere for the main edit and grade, then send that file to Vizard. Vizard finds 15 to 30-second highlights, applies aspect ratios, adds captions, and schedules the posts for me. I still use Descript for those stylized karaoke captions and Photoshop for frame-perfect background edits when needed. But Vizard is the workhorse that turns one long session into a week's worth of social content without me micromanaging every single clip. If you are a creator drowning in raw footage, my advice is simple. Stop trying to do everything by hand. Use the right tool for the right job. Templates for repetitive edits, CapCut for mobile, FireCut for cleanup, and Vizard to scale your output. Don't expect perfection because the AI will make weird choices sometimes, and you will need to tweak things. But the time it saves is real. You will reclaim your nights out, actually hang with friends, and still manage to post consistently. In the end, the best tools are the ones that let you be creative without killing your work-life balance. The AI editing landscape is messy right now, but it is incredibly exciting, and tools will keep improving. If you want to grow your channel and stop spending 10 hours manually chopping clips, give an automated clipper a try. For me, Vizard does the heavy lifting of finding the viral moments, leaving me free to focus on the bigger creative pieces. That is the honest tour. Try mixing these tools into your workflow instead of relying on one single application to do everything. You will get better results, and more importantly, you will get your valuable time back.